Now let's forget about everything else and let's see how we can make this guy maximum. There is a very easy way actually. It's called calculus. You could take the derivative and set it to 0 and find what value of y is, then plug back in and you will get the maximum. But we are not supposed to use calculus here, so we have to resort to something more exoteric. I find it very difficult, but maybe you do not find it as difficult as I do. So let's see, how do we do this? First of all, we have to make sure that this doesn't blow up. That is, the denominator is never 0. In other words, the denominator doesn't have any real roots. In other words, we will check the discriminant and make sure the discriminant is negative. Shall we? B squared minus 4 times A times C. This is going to be a negative number. So this guy doesn't have any real roots. Okay, that's a relief. Then what? What kind of a thing can we expect here? We got variable on top, variable on bottom. This is all getting very tangled. When the denominator doesn't blow up, what's going to happen is it will make a graph that gets something like this. It would not shoot up, so it will just go hump up and down. This, classically, the shape of it is, it's written this way. So you see, if it's written this way, this will never be 0, right? So therefore, you will never shoot up and it will have a hump like that. But what if it's not centered and all? Then all you got to do is make it shift somewhat, like that. So if you can get it to this shape here, if you could get the rational expression into this type of shape, then when x becomes 0, that's the maximum. So the maximum for this guy would be 1. Or when this becomes 0, the maximum would be 1. So that's the kind of trick that we are going to resort to convert this into this shape so that we can ignore this square shape. Because, to make this maximum, the denominator has to be the smallest. But the squared would never be, the smallest the squared would ever be is 0. So you make this guy 0 and then you reach the maximum without. So if you make this guy 0, then that becomes maximum. When you make this guy 0, that becomes maximum. That's the rationale we are going to use, and see if you can follow this, right? So I'm going to divide by y on the numerator and the denominator. Why? The reason is the top has to be constant. Otherwise, this causes 0 on top. So we want everything to, we want the constant to be sitting on top and all the mess to happen in the denominator. So let's see, I'm dividing by y here. So I got y and minus 3 plus 8 over y. Okay. This doesn't look like it's going to give me any square business here, but you can actually tweak it to give you one.